Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Saaghe Fogwe podcast. For all of you out there who celebrate this day, the Valentine's Day, we we wish you a happy Valentine's Day. However you celebrate it, whoever you celebrate it with, and in whatever form that you celebrated, we wish you a happy one. I wore red to commemorate the day, and just to it's one of the colors. We wear pink, red, whatever. So I chose red. But we're going to make it a special one today because I have someone in the studio who is he's super special because he's a funny guy. He's a man of God. He is a father, a husband, a friend. He's all those things and more. He's your next MC for your next occasion in the community. So, check him out. But without further ado, and not to steal the thunder from him, I'm going to introduce to you Mr. Emmanuel Nkepah, aka Pastor Picollo. Welcome, brother.
Thank you, Saaghe, and thank you for bringing me on.
Awesome, awesome. Glad to have you. We're sorry we're starting late, technical difficulties, but we're
That,
here. Like I told you on the phone, we don't panic, we pivot.
that's right. That's right. And happy Valentine's Day to you too. And
Thank you. I'm still waiting for my gift. And then you talk empty Valentine, so
yeah,
so I think for four.
I'll say it's more fry con more manager.
Frycon Cuba, as PSS Piki they call her
I'll
Cuba.
say it's more Kuba, more manager.
More manager.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna go right into it.
Oh,
So well, I'm sure you want us to share the link so that you can post wherever you need to. So
sure.
I'm gonna share the link with you. That
Oh,
way I'm sure your friends are waiting. I
oh
know some of them pinged me already privately. Like, hey, I know him. I know that guy. I beg. I know if he missed this show.
yeah.
All right. So let's do that so that we go right into it here. Okay, if I can get to it. I hope I have the right one. Hang on. Let's not share the wrong link. Okay, there. All right, guys. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, this is your opportunity while we're getting started. And then just share. Those who are already subscribed, please share. I've sent you the link.
All right.
Yeah. And then we'll just share here and we'll go right into it. Couple more and then we're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Just give me a second.
All right. Those of you who haven't planned anything yet, there's still last minute stores are open to grab something for that loved one. There was a video that one of my classes posted today with this whole Valentine's workout. A certain girl or a woman had this whole planned out. The Valentine's was the one who did something for her man, and then only to find out that it was a dream. He woke up from a dream. So girls, don't do that. It's not only the guy who has to initiate it, okay? You guys can plan something too for your man.
The ladies are always at the receiving end.
Yeah, not always. Well, not always. We have our niche, right? We have that we're good at. But
Right.
sometimes we just want to be we're the softer, creatures. We want to be pampered, taken
Okay.
care of to keep that softness.
I agree. I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that.
Okay, so before we go into it, please introduce yourself to the audience, to the viewers. Tell them who you are, where you come from, education, background, all that stuff, so that they know who we're talking to today.
All right. Thank you, Saaghe, for bringing me on once more. This is a great show, and I know this show is going to go places. Thank you for the initiative, and it takes a lot of commitment. I know, like someone in showbiz, to run something like this and be pretty consistent with it. Thank you for keeping your fans lively and giving some of us out there, of course, the opportunity to tell not only your viewers but also those of our fans on
Mm-hmm.
uh, some of the things we do that they probably do not know about. So
Yeah.
I'm Emmanuel Nkepah, uh, and depending on who you are, you probably know me uh, as someone different. So different people know me for something different. I may just put a little bit of everything about me out there, so uh, you can get a little picture of me. So I'm a pastor. I assist a man of God called Pastor Philip Mambo at a church called Grace and Harvest Church here in Houston, Texas. So I'm one of his assistant pastors, and I serve there. I play the keyboard for the church, and I do a couple of things for the church. Apart from that, some people know me as Pastor Picollo because that's my stage name, my comedy
Mm-hmm.
stage name. Uh, I manage Nkepah Productions, which is a comedy production organization. And we've been doing this for about 8 years now.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've put out about 30 skits online on Facebook, YouTube, and um, so many other fora for those who follow us on social media. Um, it's been challenging all these years, but we've kept going.
Mm-hmm.
Couple of great actors and actresses that work with me. Shout out to them, Minister Dehil, uh, Minister Dehil. I got people like Iloba Vicky. Um, they're great people. They've always been around, supporting and carrying the vision forward. Apart from acting, I do sing too. My voice may sound cranky, but I want to use it to serve the Lord. I'm currently in the studio now, working on my first single,
Oh
which will
wow.
be coming out in a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah, we're already done with the post production and we're getting ready to shoot. So you may be seeing another face of me that you didn't know in a little bit.
That's awesome.
Of course, gospel act.
Yes.
Yeah. Um, Professional career wise, I'm an RN Um, I work for Methodist Hospital.
Okay.
Um, I love what I do, um, but I also love the other part of me. I like entertaining people, I like making people laugh. Before a nurse, I was actually a finance analyst.
Oh
Studied,
wow. I did not know that.
yeah, that's why I say I
Okay.
have so many faces depending on.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Wow.
actually studied in the UK where I got my MBA in finance. So came here to the United States, started working as a finance analyst, and uh, I didn't feel like that's what I wanted to do. There was a lot of instability in that field. I really wanted something that is more stable, so I decided to
Mm-hmm.
switch to nursing. Um, Married to a beautiful wife called Peggy.
Oh, our Pemexa wife.
Our Pemexa wife adopted. Yeah, and we have three kids, three lovely kids, two girls, Manda and Kiva, and the last boy who thinks he runs everything, Mr. Rema. So that's a little bit about me, and maybe as we go on with the show, I'm probably going to bring out other faces to that.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's,
and,
I
and,
mean,
and just to add, yeah, I'm
mhm.
starting a podcast too uh,
Okay.
next month. I believe I tipped you about that last conversation.
Yes, you
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
You did.
So yeah,
Mhm.
we actually have actually currently setting up to start going live soon. So
That's awesome. I
hopefully there's
like
a
it.
lot I can learn from you, a pro in this domain already.
As I'm learning, we'll learn together.
We'll learn together. Like I said, you started this show like a pro CRTV journalist, and I really meant it. Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
that's a little bit about me.
Thank you for that introduction. That was pretty, I mean, a lot of things. So, you get to know people more and more. And this show is not about me. It's about the people I bring on here, what they do, and it gives me an opportunity to get to know people a little
Exactly.
bit more and know fast, different parts of them that I didn't know before, and it
Okay.
also puts you out there in the community. If somebody was just looking at you like a little flying shirt man,
Well, I'm probably a little flying shirt man. I just want to stay like that.
flying shirt man, you
Yeah.
know that there's some substance to this person, and just in case they need something that you are able to provide to them, they know who to reach out to. And
Yeah.
also, the title of the show was what? Life is not that serious. I
Yeah.
chose that topic for a reason.
Hmm.
Yes, it's a Valentine's special today. Like we already gave a shout out to people, but we just want, I mean, we take life so seriously, and I'm guilty of it too. I have to remind myself to smile sometimes. I have to remind myself that, you know what, blow that off. That is not so, it's not that serious.
That's
you
right.
know
That's
so we
right.
want to make sure that we remind people every in our community that there are certain things that messages that you can pass through comedy.
Hmm.
There are a lot of lessons that we can pass on to people through comedy, and
Yeah.
and there's certain things, that certain education that people might not take it to heart if you're too serious about it, but you can use comedy to pass it on. What do
And
you think about that, and how have you successfully done that in your comedy?
um, that's true. A lot of people think I'm very funny, and sometimes I don't even think I'm funny. But I just notice every time I'm engaged in a conversation with somebody, they just start laughing profusely, and then sometimes I ask them, "But why are you laughing?" Just say, I beg you, this way, you are funny. I've been as some fool. I just been as some fool, and I like that part about me to be able to bring out life in people. Even the people I work with, sometimes you meet some of them who are so depressed,
Mm-hmm.
who are on medications for trying to kill themselves and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you come in and drop in a few comic scenes, and you get them laughing, you get them back on your feet, and you get them asking, "Oh, who was that person? Can I have him back?" You know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you're right. People take life so serious. This life is so simple. Uh, if you see people who were up on their feet today and tomorrow they are no more, or tomorrow they're incapacitated, uh,
Mm-hmm.
uh, then you just want to live every moment the best you can, enjoy every little bit of it, without like putting yourself into some kind of constraints, and um, just acting like you're the only one that matters. Every other person is down there. Don't talk to me. Or you need to go through these formal procedures before you do this. I don't buy all that. I just feel everybody should live like the next person you're seeing in your community is your brother, is your sister. It's somebody you can have a drink with, have a laugh with,
Mm-hmm.
and just enjoy life. Just enjoy every moment of this life, because you never know what tomorrow holds, right? Uh,
Yes.
as we're talking now, the people dropping, uh,
Mm-hmm.
you might get off this show and you'll be like, Mama mia, I just spoke with this person too.
Mm-hmm.
And those people probably have opportunities to enjoy life, um, had fun with others, and they didn't take that. So they wanted to just be in their own little cocoon. And before
Mm-hmm.
they know it, they don't have that opportunity to do that anymore. So I think that's my way of operating. Uh, just like to make people live the best moment of their lives. I bring that in my comedy. I MC too. When I MC, every time I take it so special. I sit down and I plan, how am I going to make this program lively? How am I going to make people laugh?
Mm-hmm.
Stand up comedy too. I mentioned that every time I go on a stand up program, I if I come out and I don't feel like I made people like leave that moment, I feel so depressed. I'm like, where did I go wrong? And how can I do this better? So that's
You
Nkepah.
just revise it and do it better next
Thank
time.
you, of course. I work on myself and I try to get it better next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you even get into comedy? I know you said people just looked at you, people look at you now and think you're funny. So
Yeah.
think about going back to PSS Mancon.
Yes.
Were you funny in PSS? Did
I
people
don't
tell
think
you that?
in cases Mancon I was a complete opposite of who I am now. I was a very shy person in PSS Mancon. Uh, uh, I, I found myself in an environment where I felt so intimidated. It was when I was only 4. My dad took me to the village to go like visit my granny, and you know how our parents are. When granny says, "Oh, do you want to stay with me?" And you say yes, that's a, a relocation contract you sign without knowing. So
Yep.
uh, so dad virtually took me to the village, and grandma was like, "Oh boy, do you want to stay with me and take care of me?" I was like, "Yes, grandma." And the next day, my dad was gone.
And you're
I
left
got,
on your own.
I thought it was a job. I thought it was just maybe going to the market square, and then I'll see him in a little bit. And that was gone. And for like 6 years, my dad only came
Are
to
you serious? 6 years?
6 years. That's why I spent my primary school education in a small school called CBC Awing, and after that, graduated, did my common entrance in class 6, and that was when dad came back and said, "Okay, now you're going to boarding school." So they took me out of that dark place, and then they brought me into the city. When I left the city and went to the village, I was pretty young. I was only 4. So when I came
Hmm.
back, everything was different. Uh, I was so shy, so afraid. And then they brought me in to live with all these guys who were coming from Limbe, Douala,
Hmm.
Yaoundé,
Yeah, on day.
you know.
Who
Yeah,
knew how
so
to sap?
my dear, so I actually felt out of place,
But
and
good thing we wore uniforms, right? You didn't
thank
have to
you.
show off your outfits.
Exactly. So I was so out of place, confused, shy, afraid, didn't even know what was going on, just trying to fit. It took me 5 years to adapt.
5 years was graduation now.
Yeah, yeah, that was even graduation. That when people were talking about the graduation shoes they wear, I was just just learning how to copy and go intimidate my dad by my own kind of. So that was me. So when I got to high school, that's when I started discovering myself. You know, and it wasn't until after I got to the university that I figured out there was a part of me that can really entertain people. And
People. Hmm.
my local church at I think I was a Baptist then, and the CBC Baptist Church, Faith
Hmm.
Airport. I started a drama club in church.
Okay.
Yeah, and my pastor endorsed it, so I was the leader of that drama club. Uh, got a couple of guys. We acted and acted, and the people really loved it. Before I knew it, we started going from church to church to act. And when I switched churches, I went to a church called Love Chapel. I continued with that vision.
Hmm.
My pastor loved it too and let me run the drama club in church. Before I knew it, I had a local fan base that were clinging up to me like, "Oh, when are we acting next?" Before we
See?
knew it, we wrote, I wrote my first movie while I was still in Cameroon. I actually acted my first movie when I was in Cameroon, a full long script movie that had a part 1 and part 2. Uh,
Wow.
I did not blow then. I'm not still blown now. Maybe I'll blow someday,
You
but
will.
but I
You will.
remember.
It's coming.
Thank you. I remember those days, and after that movie, it gave me an opportunity to go around, like go to churches and say, "This is what I got." Give me a platform to act, and
Hmm.
pastors will give me a platform to act in front of their church. Sometimes they'll bless us with some money. It felt so good. When I moved to the UK, I didn't stop, and when I came here, I thought, "Oh, I probably have a bigger platform now to make this bigger," and I've been on it since until now.
Well, I'm glad you've started your production company. Because
Yes,
the one thing that we fail to do is we have that skill and then we hide it.
exactly.
But you found it. You didn't. You spent 5 years still trying to figure out if you were still in the village or in the city. But then you finally found yourself, and you probably had it all along within you, the comedy and all that. And then probably on those different platforms, even the drama, whether it was church drama or wherever, you still had some you probably added some humor into
Exactly.
into the characters.
Yeah.
But this is something that I'm glad that you're really taking it and blowing it up, because we have too many skills out there, and there are people in our community who probably haven't found themselves. So
Exactly.
now you're going to give people an opportunity. I'm hoping that's your vision, an opportunity to bring people who have those skills and who need a platform, who probably
Exactly.
cannot own a production company, but then now you're going to give employment to other people, not putting you on the spot, but hey, there are people out there who need
We'll get there.
who
We'll get
need
there.
who are gonna need employment, who are gonna need
Exactly.
mentorship,
Sure.
from you and things like that.
Of course.
So
Yeah.
how do you mix being a pastor and a comedian? Because sometimes comedians have to say certain jokes that are not very
Yeah.
clean.
That's probably one
That
of
are
my
not
biggest
very clean.
that's probably one of my biggest challenges. And of course, I have a discipline mistress in the house called Wifey.
Okay.
And uh,
I like her already.
sometimes there are some of these jokes that if you don't make them a little bit dirty, they won't be that sweet,
Hmm.
you know. And sometimes you're caught up in between. Should I say it? And if you try to refurbish it, it won't come out the
It
way
doesn't come out the
it
right
doesn't
way.
come out exactly. It doesn't come out that way. And when everybody's laughing, she's the last person that will laugh. She's always looking serious.
And giving you the look,
That look, and
the
you'll be like,
mama
oh,
look.
wait, again.
After that,
So,
you just go and pray with Madame now.
uh,
After that,
of course,
you pray over the joke.
I haven't really succeeded in making her understand that there is the difference between uh, comedy and who you are.
Hmm.
Like we grew up knowing some of these actresses in Nigeria, like Patience. We grew up knowing them like
Hmm.
some strict
Strict. Uh-huh.
mother-in-laws.
Hmm.
Those people may be the sweetest mother-in-laws we've ever seen in the world, but no one probably believes that in Cameroon, right? And
Hmm.
around the world. So sometimes I try to explain to them, uh, acting is just bringing out a character who is not you.
Hmm.
You're just trying to report something that
Hmm.
somebody in that image you're wearing at that moment is doing.
Hmm.
But people kind of like, how you should be pastor and they act the kind part.
You can wait. But the best actors are people who can switch between roles.
Thank you.
The best, even
Exactly.
in Hollywood, you have people who can switch between being, like you said, a sweet person, and then
Mhm.
switching to be an evil character.
Exactly.
But it
Exactly.
doesn't mean that, like JR
Uh-huh.
in Dallas. I remember JR in Dallas growing up watching that show. We
Uh-huh.
hated JR. He was just such a mean person, but I don't know if in person, he was that mean. So
I can assure you, he's not a mean person in real life, but that is a character that sells who he is. In the comic world, that's who he's known for as a comedian or an actor, or whoever.
mhm,
And actually, these people really have another life who is completely different from who they are. I think a lot of Westerners understand this, but in our culture, we're still getting to like I can have good roles as 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 a mother-in-law or as a lady nurse. And
mhm,
I
mhm,
wrote I wrote a comedy where I acted as a nurse. Like a local Cameroonian nurse who was mean
mhm,
to her patients coming to get treatment. And my wife really loved it, and so many people loved it. I was like,
mhm.
oh, I'm getting a lot of positive feedback on this.
Yeah.
Let me do another one. I did about two more, and I've never released them because when my wife found me editing it, she was like, now wait to this. No, 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 because you don't act that one the other day, so you go start the act now like a woman. I don't want me that too. You want to promote a pay dating and everybody else, you know. And that was the end of it.
That
And
was it. So she killed the character.
kill that character, and I would have
They
probably
call
been
it death on arrival,
like
DOA.
uh, I would have probably been rivaling people like who is this
Auntie Feli,
Auntie Feli,
Auntie Feli and
exactly.
Dorcas.
Thank
I was just watching them today. Auntie
I
Feli,
would have probably
Dorcas.
been rivaling those guys now, but I was like, she killed that thing on arrival.
You
And
probably need a team to go and beg Madame for that
well,
character.
sometimes the beauty of this thing is you have to be able to listen to your fans. I'm a
True.
learner. I like to listen to people's
Yeah.
feedbacks. Uh, I have a WhatsApp group. I have a bunch of people in there.
Mm-hmm.
every time I release a comedy, it goes in there first.
Okay.
I get feedback from them. Oh, why did you do this? Why did you use this slang instead? Why didn't you do it
Mm,
this way? And I take notes, and I try to build on what my fans like.
mm-hmm.
So you don't have to be stubborn sometimes, like, no, this is what I'm going to do. And then you kick off your fan base, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes there's some they like Pastor Piccolo the way he is.
Well, he is.
They like Pastor Piccolo. They don't want to see a Pastor Piccolo Antifeli.
Uh,
Uh, they're like, leave that to Antifeli. Do what
yeah.
we know you
Do
for.
what you're good at.
Thank you. And I'm good at that too, but they don't want that. So a couple of brothers who call me in church and like, Pastor, I really like the one with the massa. I know want me to act the character. And I
Mm,
was like, there are actually some people who are taking offense with this, so I don't have
mm,
to. I don't want to.
mm.
I don't have to
Yeah,
escalate.
and also it being a pastor, it like that's why I asked that question because I mean you will never please everybody, you know that, right? In your
Exactly.
fan base, you will never please everybody. There'll
That's
always be somebody who will be offended about something. The
that's
thing
right.
is you want to be true to yourself. You still want to yes, entertain,
Mm-hmm.
pass the message on,
Yeah.
but for the most part, you want to be true to yourself in terms
Yeah.
of where you can sleep at night. You
Mm-hmm.
know that what you put out there, will not, it will not, you're not going to second guess yourself as what
Exactly.
you did. So yeah.
Yeah, but I
So
think
how?
our culture, we still have a long way to go to bringing up our followers and our viewers to understand that
Mhm,
character you act is not exactly who you are. Like a
who
lot
you
of
are.
Pastor Piccolo, since I put out since about a rock fake pastor always out there doing some kind of crazy stuff,
Mhm.
and a lot of people will just call me fake pastor.
They just call you fake
A lot
pastor,
of
so
people
it's
are going,
already your
come
name.
over here, come over here, this fake pastor. So uh, I know a lot of them don't believe that, but believe me, there are some people that probably believe it just because
Who see you now, and when you introduce yourself as a pastor, they think that you're a
they're
fake
like,
pastor.
you get what I mean. So
Yeah.
that's the
Hmm.
divide we have, and some people are trying to breach. I know we have a long way to go, but I believe
Yeah.
we're gonna get there.
Talk to me about collaboration.
Yeah,
That's very important in our community. Not trying to be an island, right? So, how have you incorporated collaboration with other comedians? I know you mentioned a couple of people here. I don't know if you collaborated with them
yeah,
or plan to collaborate with them.
yeah.
But
Uh,
in order to grow, we need to collaborate and
Thank
network with
you.
other people. How have you achieved that?
Thank you. That is one of the challenges I have right now, having people to collaborate with. Of course, I have my uh, local actors here in Houston. I act with. I don't really know a lot of comedians that are here in Houston that I can like just call them on weekend, like, hey, let's meet up and do something. The few I know are in Cameroon. I talk to them, but you see the distance. It's really hard until you get to Cameroon. Um, I don't know how I'm gonna fix this, but
Well, there's technology now. You don't
yeah.
have to be in the same geographical area.
Uh, yeah, that's a big point. That's
Yes, you don't have to. I mean, technology is here to stay, and I'm
yeah,
sure that there are things like you could do a skit where they could copy and paste. People, you could edit it. The
yeah,
editing, could
yeah.
be done so that someone in Cameroon, in
Can
Canada,
pull
in
for doing
Europe,
it live. Mhm.
yeah, can
Yeah,
join you in a skit. If they're good enough and you want their support.
yeah. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Mhm.
That's something I've really thought about. And it's something I'm really trying to fix because I know, of course, when you collaborate with people, you get their fans on, they get to know you, and your fans get to know
Mhm.
and you build a bigger platform doing that. Um,
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it really, Sage, and I know I'm gonna find a fix. But believe me, in the nearest future, probably gonna see me coming up with collabos with some of these names around.
That's awesome. And then, so how can people reach out to you? How can people see your work? I know we didn't have time to pull up, some of
Yeah,
your stuff and video
yeah,
because we're going to kind of make our show a little short today, but
yeah.
how can people reach some of your material? How can
So
they see what you do?
yeah, so people can follow me on Facebook at Nkepah Productions. That's my official comic Facebook handle, Nkepah Productions. I have about 21,000 followers on it, so animal followers.
Awesome.
Yeah. or just Pastor Nkepah is my regular Facebook
So
page.
pastor, the full spelling of pastor or PS.
No, just PS Nkepah.
Okay.
My comedy handle is Nkepah Productions. And on YouTube, Nkepah, TikTok, Nkepah, Instagram, Nkepah. So everywhere is just Nkepah, Nkepah.
Okay. So it's
On Facebook,
consistent.
Nkepah, yes, consistent. Yeah.
Okay. Good. Yeah. Because that helps with the brand, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I'm trying to keep it like that.
Even though you have all these different faces of you,
I know.
almost like a multi personality.
I know, I know, I know. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know how I keep up with all these different personalities. People ask me like, "How are you at this, at this, at this? How do you manage this?" I just tell them I don't know. I just know I'm passionate in anything I do. They're like, "You do all these, and you're still in church every time.
Hmm.
Preaching in church. We see you playing the keyboard every Sunday. We see you at this, emceeing programs. But how do you? And then you work full time. How do you keep
Hmm.
up with this? And you love doing overtime too."
I know, right? 16 hours.
I don't say, so how do you do all this? I said, I don't know. The only thing I can say is, I believe if you have a desire to do something, God is going to give you the strength.
The strength, yeah.
And I also believe that if you're young, if you're in your youth and you have the strength to do stuff, do them now because the time will come you won't be able to do these things anymore. And you
Hmm.
wish, oh, I wish I had released that song. I wish I had released that movie. I wish I had started that podcast. The people who are
Hmm.
meeting today just sitting out on the gifts and the talents God has given them instead of just
Hmm.
starting and going from wherever they are. So,
Yeah, no, it's about starting. Like, I mean, this podcast, I would have never started if Tori Day hadn't gotten me,
right
put a gun to my head
there you go. You
to
see, and
make
here,
me
and here
start.
you are, and here you are today, and here you
I
are, and
looked at
you're
him crazy. I'm like, do what? A podcast? No. And I was shy like you. I was an introvert for years,
oh,
So I'm a
yeah.
recovered introvert.
No, even a mami pala pala now.
I
So.
be mommy pala pala now. I still be introvert though. Depends on
The
it depends on
environment.
the environment because I can
Yeah,
still come up
I didn't see an introvert in Dallas at the
in
Pemexas
Dallas at the
convention.
Pemexa convention,
I didn't
right?
see an introvert. I saw something different.
Well, I had no choice. That position puts you in a place where you cannot be an
Right.
introvert. You
That's
have
right.
to be, out there. And
That's
that's coming up again in July. So pack your
right.
bags.
Yeah. We're ready for it.
Yeah. So what was I gonna ask you? I wanted to ask you about how emceeing.
Hmm.
So yeah, you already talked about being busy. It looks like being busy keeps you out of trouble.
Yeah.
So so how can people reach out to you to MC and all that? It's still through any special contact?
Well, just through my phone number. A lot of people just reach out to me through my phone number.
Okay, I will post it. I'll drop it in the link
Yes.
later on. Yeah, I'll drop all those handles in there.
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, he emceed here in Dallas in July. So guys, reach out to him. And again, collaboration is very big because we have DJs in our community. Toride had a panel of DJs last time, so
Mhm.
hopefully he'll have one with a collaboration between MCs and DJs. So
Yeah.
look out for that. We might have you
Yeah.
on as well on that show, just so that we have a variety of people because that really helped. And
Mhm.
when that they had that show, it helped me when I was at another event, Awake Keeping, last Friday. I
Yes.
saw some of the things that the DJs were talking about, their concerns, the
Mhm.
the things that they were saying that people will just come up at the last minute and ask you to change a song to play this song when
Right.
they already
Yeah.
have their lineup.
They already have their lineup. Yeah.
So collaboration with MCs is very important. So when you're in
Exactly.
an event like that,
Mhm.
that you can tell the vibe between the DJ and the MC.
Yes.
If they don't get along, if you have your personal problems, keep it at the door
That's right.
because it will
That's
show.
right. He's gonna show. That's right.
Yes, it
And
will
talking
show.
about emceeing, I really want to give a shout out to a gentleman called Ben Stabo, whom you probably know. That
Yes.
is my MC mentor.
Okay.
I was never an MC. We go to the same church, and one day he just called me after church and said, I love stand up comedy. I used to do stand up comedy in church and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. He just called me and said, Emma, I said, yes. He said, I want me to start MC.
Wow.
Seriously, I want me to start MC. I see some bastard MCs are you eh? That's how it speaks. Some
Wow. Yeah, I know
bastard MC.
Hendrix.
I said, Pa, who knows me in this Houston? Who know me? How just I don't even have people's no. He said, look, don't worry, I will position you.
Hmm.
And my first gig out there, he got it for me. He got me the first platform I had, the first place I stood and heard a mic. Bendrix put me out there,
Wow.
and since then, I've kept going.
Most people don't remember the person who puts them in a position. So
I
thank you for
remember,
shouting out to
of course.
Bendrix.
No,
So
I
shout
remember
out to
him,
you, Bendrix.
and he's the kind of guy wherever he goes for a show. If he's hired for a show and I'm in that show, he'll come up to me and say, Emma, at this point, I want you to take the mic and coordinate this part of the program. I'll be like, bro, now I show this. Why do you want to bring me on?
Mm,
He said, no, no, I need you to do it.
mhm,
And 90% of the times I refuse just because, I don't want to go in there and maybe screw something that is
mhm.
Benji's level.
Yeah.
But, he sees me up there and I'm still trying to see
Yeah,
myself up there like him. But he's a great guy, a great mentor. He's been
that's awesome.
awesome. Like, every time I MC a show and he's there, he calls me up and like, bro, you don't been at some bad man, eh? He said, small time you start go around like me. And before I knew it, I've been going around from
Yep.
state cities, and hosting programs. So I really want to give a shout out to that young man. When I had my first MC check, I took a part and gave it to
Oh
him.
wow.
Like, thank
Wow.
you. He refused to take it. I was so angry. I'm like, take this. I know what it means to me. He said, no, no, Joe Livan. Joe Livan.
No, you don't give money to people like that. You get
You know,
something. You
yeah,
give it to them indirectly. People
I
like that, you
know.
give it
I,
indirectly.
I should have done
Hmm.
that, yeah, but just telling you how blessed I was with
Yes, but
someone
that's
like that.
amazing. Give
Yeah,
back to who
he's a
it's due,
blessing.
right?
Yeah, he did that.
Yeah.
He did that, yeah.
Yeah, and one thing I learned from Bendrix, he has done it in a couple of occasions. Is doing a little like where he will bring everybody out and they'll do farote for the waitresses,
Yeah,
the
okay.
waiters and waitresses.
Hmm.
He did one time. He spoke in pidgin. He said, "Sorry, tell una no. We'll just as we just arrange and now so no, na so we'll do the thing."
And so now the waiter then napanya them.
Yes. Well, so we'll just arrange the thing so now so we'll just do this thing. So as I don't talk no, they will just as we talk. So yes.
I think I'll copy that.
Yes, and then they'll come out, they'll think that they're coming out, they won't know what is happening.
Yes,
And he
yes,
did this whole, and they left with a basket of that was tips for them.
yes.
Do you know
Wow.
what that would do for
I'm telling
somebody
you,
who
yeah, great
is
initiative.
minimum wage? They have a family to feed at home. They don't even know if that shift will pay for.
That's right.
I admire that of
Yeah,
he's awesome.
he got it up. Yeah, and we
Yeah,
appreciate
he's
it.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't want us to drag out this show. So anything that I didn't ask you that you expected to talk about today, anything that you want to tell our community about comedy, because we said life is not that serious. We've kind of
Yeah,
talked about people not taking life so seriously, but is there anything that you wish our community would do more that they're not doing,
yeah,
something that you want to highlight in our community? And when I say our community,
of
you're
course.
in Houston, I'm in Dallas, you know what I
Yeah,
mean by
of course,
community,
of course.
and
Yeah,
we have a variety of people watching the show. So just speak to people.
yeah. I just want us to get to a place where uh, we give more value to comedians than what they seem to be worth in our community today. If you look at the Nigerian community and you see what their comedians are doing, you wonder if it's the same thing we're doing as comedians. They know how to encourage the people. They know how to promote them. Uh, when you come out with a skit, you have to beg people sometimes to share. Sometimes these skits are really funny, but someone just watches and then it just scrolls over, it doesn't share. We
Mm,
want people to help us grow, and we're
mm,
not asking for money. Just put us out there because you don't
mhm.
know who is going to watch us someday, and that would be a life changing moment. When you have weddings, when you have events, call us. Let's just give us 5 minutes to come to our
Mhm,
go. You know, we spend a lot of money sometimes bringing guest artists, and sometimes instead of bringing a guest artist, bring a guest comedian.
mhm,
Uh, give us a place we're looking for. We just want to be out there more. We put in so much to come up with a single skit. You probably know how much it took you to put up this particular show today.
mhm.
A lot of coordinating with your producer, and stuff like that. It takes out a lot to come out with
Yeah.
a skit, a 3 minute, 4 or 5 minute skit. And sometimes when you put it out, and you know, and you know you did good, and people
Mm-hmm.
come to you and say, "Oh, wow, Mama Mia, that's in funny so they," but you look at their page and there's no share.
No share.
You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it gets to like, why am I doing this?
Yeah,
You know,
no.
we somehow
Mm-hmm.
found that energy to keep going. But we want our community to get to the level where they see our thing and they share.
Mm-hmm.
The Cameroonians, uh, we are not saying don't share stuff from people from other nationalities. Do the same thing you've been doing. But why you
Mm-hmm.
also do it to your people so they can
Yeah.
also, there are people who
Mm-hmm.
share anything Nigerian, funny or not, but they look at our own standard like, oh, now Emmanuel moves another died dog. And sometimes you just want them to hit that share button, that like button.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really pleading with our community. We want to be out there more, and I know they can help us get there. Let's keep loving each other. Let's keep supporting each other. Let's keep following each other. Because we are the pillars for one another to and shoulders for one another to lean on. And I
Mm-hmm.
think keep up with that spirit just the way the Nigerians do. We'll
Mm-hmm.
see us grow as a very strong community of actors, actresses, comedians and podcasters and what have you.
Mm-hmm. So not to put you on the spot, but give us a little taste of the comedy, stand-up comedy, like on the spot.
I do
On
it
the
so.
spot.
Why not tell me again
I
for
know
the
fit tell you, then you know be on the spot. Just a little bit, a little excerpt, so we can see it just from one of your skits. You can do one from one of your skits, so we can have a taste.
Okay, I don't know which one I'll put out there, but let me say when we grew up, dads in Cameroon are like pros in handling the remote control, whether they're watching the program or not. And I'll say in
Mhm.
pidgin so that we can get the African feel. So my be back. Maybe now if you like remote. So we come back from Boloso, you just lie down on top couch. 2 minutes, power on sleep off. And then we get this night program will be like for watch Puissance Catch. I don't know if you know it.
Mm-mm. You
Puissance
know, I
Catch was
left Cameroon
wrestling.
a long time ago.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a wrestling program that used to air on a channel called RTL no, RTL 9. That
Oh
was
my gosh, I don't even know that one.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Uh-huh.
so we all love that comedy that program. And then when that program they go on, right after that program, they start show X-rated movies then.
Mm.
You know. So we can't discover them. Say, hey, after that Puissance Cash, they show adult film. So after that, I no money go sleep. But the matter then I say repeat day next week,
Right there.
you know. So one day, uh, repeat say when time reach, around that kind 10 o'clock, repeat begin the he will tell say me all man go sleep by 10. We'll say pa one should don't watch your program, so no me all man go sleep, so we'll go sleep. And then for night, we'll kind of creep out, come back now, can watch uh, uh, wrestling, and after
Mm-hmm.
wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
X-rated films then, you know. So this one unfortunate night, I don't know the tenants them for up. One of them like moved their slippers, so Tissen and Repe woke up. So where the thief,
They're on edge.
he there on edge. So slippers shit was ceiling. Oh man died. My petit said died for anger. My grandson died for anger. Died for my anger. As one died, so glass cup just come on to
Oh
table just land
Lord.
down. Bam bam bam. My Repe will come now. What is going on? Repe TV will run the house.
Well.
So Repe sleep now. So that time you get to protect your woman, right? So you get to come on like man picking can say, hey, yeah, kill about who is there? Who is there? Repair say open door now small. I say, who is there? And they ask our country talk. Lumbaka. They say, who is there? No man no answer.
So the thief man now on a countryman.
I can't see it. When I see man no country man, they say, now who they for they? Ask our English. No man, if they ask our English, no man no answer.
No one answer.
Ask our people, no man no answer. He ask our friends, say, son like no man no answer. It's a corner and name them. My name is back. I want to repeat open door small corner. My name is Jew. My name is Justine. Jew, we did for us again. You want to send me
It's no
from
common name.
you want to send me from Yongo? You want to send me from Yongo? Now we all we know boss loud. Come on now. Then if you come on now, they cannot turn on TV now. So you watch that. Hey, listen that fear now. You need to get down to switch channel before you run.
They can't see X-rated movie.
If you
That
want,
means that pastor blood no be don't enter you that time.
that's why your mom been a bastard.
That the
Someone,
pastor blood no be don't enter.
mom been a bastard. Not chance man doing nothing I don't do it. We will not finish fighting for everything.
Now the most pigeon this one I don't talk about this show. Tori Day they just die laugh inside the studio because at the most pigeon this show I never talk pigeon the way. Only Pastor Picollo will make a talk
We
pigeon.
get to bring a culture inside it now.
I know, right?
No, repeat catchman that day. Repeat catchman that day. That day, TV end for Swari for house. Can we open and say, let's say, what? Jew, yeah. I come back. Maremy comes and waiting. He opens it. See that way, Emmanuel ever go sleep or answer them. So, from that day, repeat change sleeping time from 10 p.m. to 8:30 p.m.
8:30 when I go sleep early.
Sleep early,
No wrestling.
You get a glass clock. So two I do I carry that clock broken. I broke that glass with that clock. So when they can't hold remote now,
You change time.
when sleep, you have a week small, I'll take the remote. Then I go change time now small, 1 hour, 2 hours behind. Basically one shake with the switch channel. Only so. People only did we woke up small and say, hey, that's the time there's no pan, only 8:45.
Where?
Make the clean eyes. I said, "Pano, that time the same look time. That's why I was supposed to get 45 minutes. People only the way so they want you now."
Then Juice no become who coffee. Juice no who coffee go sleep.
Juice be doing that sanction too. Everybody saying all my plus Justin for bed. So that was our little home,
That's awesome.
Unfortunately, we lost that in 2012.
Oh wow.
Yeah, at that moment, he was. Since I get that comic life came from him. My dad was
From him.
was a very funny man. Very funny. If he was a comedian, he would have.
So that's his legacy that he left for you.
I'm telling you, if there's
Yeah.
anything for my dad, that was him. My dad was a very funny man. If I tell you stories about that man, you will laugh to tomorrow.
So that's material for your skits.
That's
right there.
A lot of the skits are my dad's skits.
Yep.
The skits he was supposed to act that he didn't act.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's amazing. You need for really, we need for that when you do the tours, you probably need to go to each city and start doing shows.
Of course.
Start doing.
We're planning that. I want to do this comic, single launch first. We're planning a general launching for my brand.
When is the launch? Those are things we should be shouting out here.
Exactly right. So I'm planning something like that around October.
Okay.
You guys will get I'll tip you out.
Yeah, let me know so I can come to Houston.
Yeah, we're planning that. So that will be like an official launch for everything I do. We're trying to see if we can bring some guest artists, of course, guest comedians. I'm talking to some of them. It's one big thing that I really want to do.
Yeah.
I'm really praying that it becomes a success.
We definitely have to do a part 2. I know you have to go take a power nap
and go to work.
Go to work. So I'm not going to keep you. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you on such a special day, Valentine's Day. We thank you again for spending time with us, and for everyone who watched and shared the video. We appreciate you. Continue to do that. Emma, we'll catch up later. Thank you. Be blessed.
And to your producer and everybody who keeps this show alive. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate you. So until next time, guys.
Thank you.